his family as well as his church family, and he loves to smile and have fun.
I am Bob Searles. My occupation of my life has been a pastor for over 50 years. It's been the most exciting life that I think anyone can choose. Not that I chose it, I sense that God called me to be a pastor, and that started in 1957 when I went to Bible college and then later on to seminary. We met because I worked at a place called Dog and Suds. She worked at there, she was a curb hop and I was a fry cook, and therefore we got acquainted and we dated, and from then on we got serious, and 4 years later we were engaged, and we were very happily married, and I think we have a very successful marriage, and we have the greatest grandkids in all the world. I've told people that, and I believe it, whether other people do or not. We do. I could go through and name all my grandkids, but I'm not sure that's something that is necessary to do at this point.
He is wise.
I would describe my dad as a man of integrity and honesty.
The thing I like about Grandpa is he's always happy, he's always inspired about politics, and I love his pond just like he does.
He tells really good stories.
There was a lady attending our church. Her name was Mrs. King, and she was a cook at the Pontiac Correctional Institution. And while she was there, one of the inmates stabbed her. She went to put up the knives down the hallway from the kitchen, and obviously he followed her and grabbed one of the big, huge butcher knives, and she was stabbed 15 times and dropped dead right there. I knew what I was going to say and did say regarding capital punishment, and knowing that not everybody believed in that, but I preached a sermon called Justice of God. And anyway, I won't go through the message, but the next day I had somebody call me and said, "Have you seen the newspaper?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, you're on the front page. It says, 'Minister calls for justice in King's killing.'" And knowing that that newspaper was going to be read by the inmates in the penitentiary, it caused me to wonder what was going to be the outcome of that. I can keep going, but it's not interesting any further, I don't think. I remember one Sunday I was in the midst of preaching a sermon, and this man came in the back door, and everybody was seated, and he came in late. I was amazed that he was carrying a gun. He walked straight up to the pulpit and raised his hand and says, "I have a question." But then I said to him, "Sir, I would appreciate if you would be seated, and I will answer your question later." Fortunately, the man did sit down, and as soon as my message was over, he quickly got up and left. I found out later that he had escaped from a mental institution.
He has an interesting sense of humor.
Grandpa is goofy.
What I love about Grandpa is he's very silly and he makes me laugh.
Did you hear the weather report for Mexico? It's interesting because it just came out. News flash came out. Chili today and hot tamale.
He always has a smile on his face.
He's really friendly.
First comment is, Bobby has a lot of energy, or what I would call chutzpah, and I hope I have that when I'm his age. And the second comment is, I'm really glad he let me marry his daughter.
Bob Searles is a man who has no interest in technology unless it can tell him the score of the Tigers game.
He's awesome!